Welcome back, America. It's Hugh Hewitt, 51 minutes after the hour. Joined now by former Senator Jim Talent of the great state of Missouri when he served in the Senate, now with the Bipartisan Policy Center. Follow him at jimtalent.com. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Fine, you. How are you this morning?
Great. Now, I'm doing something today which I normally don't do. I'm taking a lot of calls. Normally, I do interviews and try and get people the news, but I wanted to know the reaction to General Mattis's statement. So I've had 32 calls this morning, east to west, all different parts of the country. The majority of the callers were veterans. Some were active duty. I had one Gold Star dad that I'm very honored to talk to, a Gold Star dad. Not one caller, not one, has changed their mind about supporting Donald Trump because of General Mattis. And the one anti-Trumper who called hadn't changed his mind either. My view, Jim Talent, is that's a pebble bouncing off the battleship of 2020. What do you think?
Oh, I think politically that's correct. And, I have to tell you something. I'm not sure what all the argument is. The president has the authority and has used it on a number of occasions to enforce federal law, protect federal installations. And if this what amounts to anarchy were to continue throughout the summer and the states were unable or unwilling to do anything to protect people in huge parts of cities, I would expect the federal government to act. Now, look, the president should not, in my opinion, shouldn't have announced this in one sentence of a 5-minute speech. I mean, this is where his approach hurts him, right? This is the kind of thing you get an administration position on, you announce it, you explain it, et cetera. But I don't think it's all that remarkable a proposition that federal authority can be used under proper circumstances when you have this kind of widespread, basically, rebellion against the law.
No, we've had 2 nights of peace, relative peace. I believe
Right.
that is because of the president's statement and his walk to Lafayette Park and the call with the governors, which was basically reading them the riot act, proverbially, saying you can't allow this to go on. This will not get better until you crack down. And crackdowns happen. I think the consequence is order.
Yeah, look, it was time for somebody to make the point that the laws were going to be enforced. I mean, a lot has happened. I think the reason a lot of Americans, I am anyway, are a little disoriented is what's happened in the last 3 months that you never thought would happen. I mean, basically the economy was not entirely shut down, but huge parts of it were shut down. Now, I understand the reason for that, at least initially. And now we've had this kind of widespread anarchy, which is supported by nationally funded sort of anarcho-revolutionaries, right? I mean, these groups are active in this. And the response, I thought, was very anemic in a lot of states. I mean, we've had riots before, but, I mean, they send in the National Guard. So this has been pretty disorienting. And I think it was time for the president to say you can't just allow this to continue in large parts of American cities.
So why do you think General Mattis, I know him a little bit, I've interviewed him, I have great admiration for him, I still think everyone ought to read Call Sign Chaos. My theory is that people who spend their careers in the military have no idea what's going on in politics because they accept orders and execute them, they give orders and expect them to be executed. That's not politics, Jim Talent.
I think you got to ask Jim Mattis. Maybe he'll come on. And you can ask him.
He's been on before, and I will absolutely.
Yeah, I really don't want to speak for him now. I don't know the differences that he had with Trump. I don't think he's explained in great depth his views either. I mean, he's done it a little bit. It would be nice if people on both sides of this took the time to actually explain the positions that they're taking. I think the shallow nature of communications today leads to a lot of misunderstanding. But no, I'd love to see what he has to say. Get him on.
Oh, I'm going to try and do that.
Anybody can, you can.
I think he'll come back. You'll know it'll be respectful. I tell everyone to read Call Sign Chaos, best memoir by a general since Grant. Jim Talent, great to talk to you. Thank you. I want to get one more call in this hour. James from Houston, Texas, because I haven't heard from a Houston yet. Hey, James, has your mind changed?
No, Hugh, I'm still for Trump. I just think that the general's Trump derangement syndrome has mutated into Trump derangement virus, as has the whole country.
Thank you, friend. John in Arizona. I haven't heard from anyone in Arizona yet this morning. John, has your opinion changed?
Yeah, good morning, Hugh. No, it hasn't. But tell me, did the general say that he felt that the president had become a threat to the Constitution?
No, he just said he's dividing the country. He's the first president in his lifetime who's tried to divide the country, not a threat to the Constitution. Thank you, John. Joe in Petersburg, Florida. You get the last call of the hour, Joe. Has your opinion changed?
My opinion has changed. against Mattis and Espers.
But not against the
Trump,
president. That's not the question. Is did you become
President
anti-Trump?
100% for President Trump, and I am a veteran.
And so, what do you see in the community around you?
Unfortunately, I see some peaceful protests, but then at night, some of them have been turned into violence. It's time for law and order.
Thank you, Joe. I'm coming back, America, with Chuck Todd. 35 calls. Not one changed mine. People, some idiot on Twitter says, very scientific. Of course it's not scientific. It's people outside of the blue bubble who have taken the time to stop and call.